If there is anybody who can make wearing sunglasses look cool in movies, it is Tom Cruise. Now, let's get on with this review. Nah, I look ridiculous in these. Let's really get on with this review. What is up, everybody? RandomRandomMan here, bringing you my review for American Made. Based on true-life events, the plot basically follows Barry Seal, played by Tom Cruise, a former TWA pilot who gets himself involved with the CIA in flying missions for them. But he also gets involved in drug smuggling when he ropes himself in an alliance with the Medellin cartel in the 1980s. Now, this movie was originally released about a month ago, so I'm a little late in getting my thoughts up for it, but I nevertheless was excited to see this movie for its main star, the concept in it being based on a true story, and the director behind the camera, Doug Liman. For those of you who do not know, Doug Liman directed movies such as the first installment in the Jason Bourne series, The Bourne Identity, great movie, and he has previously worked with Tom Cruise on another great movie, Edge of Tomorrow, one of my absolute favorite movies of 2014. Yeah, now it's called Live, Die, Repeat, but either way, this is an excellent action film. Kicking off with the main star of American Made, Tom Cruise. He is super charismatic in this movie, despite playing a shady guy. He is just the man. He is likable in just about any movie he is in, no matter how grimy his motivations are. I did not see The Mummy, which came out this past summer, because I thought it looked really bad, and apparently it was, but this is the kind of movie I love seeing Tom Cruise in, reminiscent of other iconic roles of his, like in Risky Business. And yeah, you get the feeling that Tom Cruise is playing another one of these guys who can talk his way out of any situation, but he is the best in those kind of roles. Domhnall Gleeson plays the guy from the CIA who gets Barry Seal involved in to more business that gets in over his head. He looks like he's having a lot of fun in this role, and I also have to give a shout out to Sarah Wright, who plays Barry Seal's wife, Lucy, and she is the voice of reason at times for Barry Seal in the film, for him doing a lot of crazy shit. But I like that she wasn't just relegated to being the wife character in these kinds of movies. The same basically applies to every other actor in this movie, as their characters are well acted overall, and what goes into the writing of this movie had me interested from the start. It is based, again, on a true story, so there are going to be some liberties taken with this subject matter, but to my knowledge, it is mostly accurate to what did happen in real life, just condensed down into about a 2-hour movie. So yeah, there's going to be stuff in there that seems too crazy for its own good, but the fact of the matter is that this movie is based on a story that is too crazy to be happening in real life, or did happen in the late 1970s to 1980s. I actually knew quite a bit about the material covered in this movie prior to seeing it. Like, if you've seen the Netflix series Narcos, outstanding show by the way, you get the basic gist of what's going to happen in this movie as Pablo Escobar and other figures get involved with Barry Seal's escapades, and a lot of other stuff that ties into real life is shown off here, but I was intrigued to see what would happen next, as I did not know much about Barry Seal going into this movie. And for the most part, this movie was consistently entertaining. It's also hysterical in how it brings out the laughs. I think a lot of it just has to do with Tom Cruise being a brimming screen presence overall. This movie is a period piece, and it's a very nice looking period piece at that. As cinematography wise, production design wise, this movie looks pretty authentic to looking like it took place in the 1970s and the 1980s, all around Central and South America and some parts of the US as well. I saw this movie with my dad, and I think he appreciated how nice the movie looked on that angle, but also in how he lived through a lot of this stuff in real life and overhearing it from the news. Even though I was pretty absorbed with this movie overall, the biggest issue I had with it easily was the pacing. This movie ran at a little under 2 hours, and mostly it was well paced and I was entertained, yet it had a tendency to have its energy and flow speed up and slow down too much, and I still found it to be investing even when it didn't quite work. But this did spill over into another issue I had with Barry Seal's brother-in-law showing up at one point in the movie, and it just really amounting to a useless subplot that didn't need to be there. Now, I don't know how much more went into the story of Barry Seal in real life, so if this subplot was needed as it happened in real life, then I am just criticizing real life at that. But this also being a movie based on a true story, there are still liberties that you could take with it in making it be more concise. Theoretically, you're already taking a lot of grains of salt and putting it into a biopic like this. I mean, I ironically didn't have this pacing issue with another similar movie based on real life debauchery, The Wolf of Wall Street, which I think is fantastic, and that's an hour longer than American Made, so yeah, that's my silly opinion for you. But all in all, I still had a good time watching American Made. This is an enjoyable film in between all of its entertaining laughs, Tom Cruise's superb performance, and it being based on some true life events that you may know about before seeing this film, but it throwing in a real life figure that I don't think too many people know about makes this movie a nice one at that. This isn't the best directorial effort of Doug Liman's career, especially when you compare it to past movies like The Bourne Identity or Edge of Tomorrow, yet this still proves that this director has a lot of talent within him, working with Tom Cruise again for American Made, and all of the merits put together that I had with this film, I recommend it. My final verdict for American Made is 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of American Made, social media links in the description, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.